Another day, another drama at Miss Universe, guys. I am just so tired. I am so tired. Look at these bags under my eyes. It's Miss Universe doing this to me. I have been trying to avoid talking about Miss Universe for the longest now. But this morning I went on Instagram and there was some news that the Mexican, what shall we call him? The Mexican partner of Miss Universe has taken aboard this man, Osmel de Sousa, who used to be sort of big. Well, not sort of. He used to be really, really big in Venezuelan pageantry. And I must say, under his watch, there were a lot of Venezuelan queens crowned. But we'll get into this later. This man is very controversial about his views on beauty and the fact that inner beauty allegedly does not exist, which I will get into later. It's just a whole thing, especially with all of the recent drama of Miss Universe. We just have to get into this because there are so many dedicated pageant fan pages and things like that, the most notable of which being Miss U Updates on Instagram. I'm sure if you're a pageant fan, you have heard of her if you're on Instagram. And, you know, some South African pageant pages have spoken up on this. There are so many people threatening to stop posting about Miss Universe, to stop supporting Miss Universe. Nika from Miss U Updates has even said that she'll give it some time, but if things doesn't improve, she's gonna close down Miss U Updates, which will be absolutely devastating because she's so hardworking. I've been following her since like 2017. She's amazing. And so, guys, it's just, for me, so sad what's happening to Miss Universe and the choices that they're making. Because we used to have a really, really solid team at Miss Universe in Paula and Esther and even Amy, who came in recently and changed a couple of things up. Miss Universe used to be a really, really solid brand. And nowadays, I don't know what's happening to it. You know, it's becoming really like messy and sort of trashy, the way that we know everything about the inner workings of the owner's mind. Like, I do not need to know every thought that comes into Queen Anne's head. Yes, and I'm calling her Queen Anne. Guys, Miss Universe is getting on my last nerve, to be honest with you. But let me just explain, because some of you might be really, really lost on what's happening at Miss Universe right now. You guys know they've made a lot of changes. They've said some controversial things, and they have sort of forced all of the national franchises to make some very difficult decisions. You guys know that I think the Miss South Africa organization got rid of their Miss World license in an attempt to please the Miss Universe organization, because Miss Universe's owner has stated that she doesn't want to share a stage with any other international pageants, meaning that she wants the license holder of Miss Universe, and this is how I interpreted this. She wants the license holder of Miss Universe in a country to only hold the license for Miss Universe. That's why I think we haven't heard anything about whether or not the Miss South Africa organization are going to be sending anyone to Miss Supranational this year either, even though Miss Supranational is just like months away. Now, they've done that. They have forced some highly esteemed and some very much well-respected license holders and franchises all around the world to make some very uncomfortable and difficult decisions. They've started this bidding war where in every country, literally anyone can take over from the current franchise holder if they put down a payment that's big enough, which was very controversial. And so a lot of people around the world, a lot of franchise holders have pulled out of Miss Universe. Most recently, the Miss Diva India organization said that they weren't going to be sending any more women to Miss Universe, and then the Miss Universe India organization was started. For me, it's just a bit sad, everything that is happening, because you guys know I am such a fan of history. You know, I'm a bit of a stickler for tradition. Can we say I'm a traditionalist when it comes to pageant. I don't like things to change that much, okay, except for the things that have to change. For example, you know, allowing married women and mothers and things like that. I do think that that's a good thing. But mostly I like organizations to have a license like Miss South Africa did from 1956 literally up until last year, that's why it was so devastating for me when the Miss South Africa organization, in my interpretation, in an attempt to, you know, please the Miss Universe organization, got rid of the Miss World license. And where did that get us? Top 16 and not any further. So that's a bit sad. The Miss Universe organization as a whole, or rather the staff that are at the helm of it at this moment, are making some very bad decisions. And there are also some very big scandals happening to Miss Universe. You guys know, unless you've been living under a rock or you just do not care that deeply about pageantry, about the leaked video from the Miss Universe meeting that happened. Allegedly, the person who leaked the video was like a scarred employee, but a video was leaked in a Miss Universe meeting that happened, and the owner of Miss Universe was sitting there saying that, you know, I'm not translating this word for word, but apparently, allegedly, don't sue me, it was said that Miss Universe is inclusive, you know, allowing women with children and mothers and all of that, and ostensibly, you know, plus size women like we've had last year and everything. Miss Universe is inclusive, but we all know who's going to win, you know, sort of implying that the woman who is going to win is always going to be, you know, the regular schmigular, tall, thin, beautiful woman who, you know, if she's deserving, then I have no problem with that. People were pretty upset because that sort of implies that Miss Universe is using inclusivity only as sort of a marketing tactic and a way to get the public to see themselves in Miss Universe. I think actually this is also something that was said in the leaked video, is that, you know, the audience will be able to see themselves in the contestants. And so a lot of people were like, oh, okay, so it's all been a lie, and Miss Universe is only including all of these other women in order to, I don't know, check off some sort of quota system, I guess, that they've made for themselves in order to be more marketable. And so we all felt a little betrayed by this video. Of course, they all denied it. Miss Anne came out and talked about how this was leaked, and talked about how it was faked and how it was, you know, taken out of context. But I don't know what sort of context it would have been taken out of. You know, if that was said, who knows what else was said that was damning. But yeah, that came out. That was a whole big thing. And now this came out with this man, Osmel de Sousa, coming out and talking about the fact that inner beauty does not exist. And this annoyed me on a spiritual level, because I know for a fact that in the modern day, the pageant world does not attract women that do not have some semblance of inner beauty, if they know what they're getting into. Inner beauty for me can mean different things. It can mean having a good work ethic, which you definitely need if you're going to be a pageant girly, because it's expensive, it's long hours, it's hard work maintaining all of that. You have to be hardworking, which to me, it doesn't show on the outside, which to me says it's inner beauty. It's being kind and generous with your time, which is also definitely something you need to be able to have in order to be a pageant girly. You know, it's not all about looks. You have to have, you know, some semblance of charitable life going on for yourself. Inner beauty, being friendly, being kind, being graceful, you know, these are all things that do not show on the outside and only exist on the inside, which constitutes inner beauty. And for this man to have been surrounded by beautiful women who also possess inner beauty for most of his life, to come out and say that inner beauty doesn't exist is, to me, so disrespectful to all of the women that he has ever worked with. Because let's be honest, in the modern day, if a woman who is beautiful wanted fame and wanted a big name and wanted to make loads of money, there's OnlyFans for that. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Women do not compete in pageantry purely on the fact that they're beautiful. You know, it's like Miss Luciera said, you know, one of the most prolific trainers in the world when it comes to on-stage presence, but I think it still applies. If you're banking on your beauty and how you look alone to win a pageant, that's a bad idea. Because the truth is that there are so many beautiful women who fit into the mold of beauty in the world that you have to have some sort of inner beauty to set you apart from the rest. And that's what we see at Miss Universe every single year. You know, there are so many beautiful women. And I won't name certain countries, but I think a couple comes to mind when I'm talking about this. There are so many women who are facially freaking angelic, okay, sculpted by the gods. Their body is on fire, okay, and they just have nothing. They have the personality hasn't spawned. It's like they were up in heaven, and before God could put the personality on them, they somehow fell down to earth, and that's just how they came to be. They're just there looking the way they look. And is this man implying that that's all it takes to be a Miss Universe or to be any sort of pageant queen? I beg to differ. He says that inner beauty is just something made up by ugly people to justify themselves. And I just, how blind could you be? And you know, it's this that leads me to believe, because he does have a lot of accolades under his belt. You know, he was at the helm of Venezuela pageantry for a long time, and there have been some queens crowned under his watchful eye. But the women who won did so due to their own self and their own merits. I will not allow anyone to give this man any credit for any of the women who made Venezuela proud while he just so happened to be at the helm of things, because Wagner Wessels, he is certainly not. He doesn't hold the right sentiments for me. I just do not immediately like this man based on what I've heard him say about inner beauty. Because you know what? There are some women in this pageant industry that I have met who are stunningly freaking gorgeous, standing next to a stunningly freaking gorgeous woman, and the two of them, to me it's so obvious which one has the inner beauty and which one just, it's not there. She's banking on her looks. And I don't know how he could not see this and how this could be his opinion on beauty when most of the women that the pageant world attracts are women who have stunning hearts and who are so graceful and so poised and so unique and so philanthropic. And to me, Miss Universe taking on this man is just, it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross, you know. It's like, no, throw the whole Miss Universe away, because I can't deal with this anymore. And he even said, you know what? Miss Universe allows married women and pregnant women and women with children and this and that and this, and I will accept them. Okay, this isn't exactly his words, but I'm paraphrasing. I will accept them as long as they're beautiful. Sir, why thank you? You are too kind. As if women who are not physically attractive to some point would even conceptualize entering Miss Universe. People know their limits. Contrary to belief, most people know their limits. Most women out there do not go through their life thinking about being Miss Universe. It's a specific market. So the fact that he still even brings up beauty is, to me, it's just so... I have no more patience for Miss Universe. I really don't, because these people, they remind me of sort of just a bunch of novices, really. It's just, where has the grace gone? Where has the grace and the tact that we knew from the IMG era of Miss Universe, where has it gone? Where has it gone? Why do I even know that Anne thinks that Paula was corrupt and now there's beef there, and also this other man thinks that inner beauty doesn't exist? I don't need to know these things about the people owning the pageant. I just need an entertaining show. I literally just need to be entertained during the competition, and then I also just need the winner to have a meaningful and successful reign. That's all we want. That's all we want. Is it so difficult to deliver on this? I don't know. Why do we need to be put through all this, knowing all of this information and all of this dirty laundry about Miss Universe? I do not want to know. I would rather have an organization of which the face is the reigning queen, rather than all of these complicated people who I actually don't care about. But yet, they are running the thing that a lot of us love and adore and we support, not only through watching and keeping ourselves, occupied with it. For me, example, I keep myself occupied with this stuff all the time because I have this channel, but also monetarily, we pay to go watch these shows, and if they have a specific streaming service, we pay to watch on there and all of that. I do not want to support an organization that have such incredibly terrible people, honestly, running the business. I don't want to know all of this stuff about people and all of the wrong decisions they make and all of the things they say that are not in actual alignment with the actual thing that they are trying to run. That's what's annoying to me about, the leaked video of Anne allegedly stating that, the inclusivity girls are just for marketing, and this guy saying inner beauty doesn't exist. That's what's so annoying to me, because it doesn't even align with your organization that you are in charge of. Miss Universe's whole thing is beautifully confident, and it used to be confidently beautiful until we decided it wasn't all about beauty. It was about, confidence, and actually confidence is a form of what? Inner beauty. Why take over an organization or get involved in an organization if you do not agree with their central set of values? It must just be for the money then. It must be for the money, it must be for the notoriety. And that is what feels so gross about Miss Universe. Because with Paula and Esther and Amy, you could feel it was about the women, it was about the organization, it was about the message. Since Anne has taken over, and now this new person, and also the Mexican branch and whatever, it all just feels like they are milking the Miss Universe brand for every single penny that it is worth. That's what it feels like, and it feels disgusting to supporters. We feel used. I don't know about you. I feel dirty sitting here. I want to go take a shower. I feel used when I find out all of this stuff going on behind the scenes. And perhaps this was the case for IMG. It was perhaps the same for Trump. Well, probably Miss Universe from the beginning was just a cash grab, because Miss Universe started in order to promote the swimwear brand or whatever. So perhaps from the start, but you know, we've been spoiled in recent years, especially since the IMG era, to believe that it's about more than that. To believe that the people involved actually care about the women, that they actually care about the fairness of the competition, and that they actually care about giving back to society. And that's just not what it feels like ever since Anne took over. It feels like we are all just being used and frankly abused. I just can't deal with Miss Universe anymore, guys. And it's so sad because especially this year, because soon after this I'll be filming a video on Miss Universe Philippines. There are so many incredible women who are not getting the spotlight, and instead they have to come in contact with people like Osmel who hold sentiments like that, and they have to get involved in this competition where allegedly, you know, if you get into the top 20, you're not gonna know whether or not it's because you're a mother, or whether or not it's because you're maybe trans, or whether or not it's because you're married, or whether or not it's because you're maybe like 10 kgs overweight. You don't know whether or not you get into the top 20 because you fill a quota or because you are actually deserving. What has become of Miss Universe? I'm just appalled, honestly. I'm appalled by what is happening. But like Nika from Miss You Update said, we'll have to wait and see. Ugh, but I don't know how much longer I can sit, and every time I go on Instagram it's like new behind the scenes sort of controversy to do with Miss Universe. Can we just have a good show and a good reign for the reigning queen? Please. That's all we want. Let me know you guys' thoughts. I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.